Shout out to all the amazing fans and listeners of the show. Welcome to Crime Bowl Podcast with Bill and Jill, where it's true crime, no bull. Please like and subscribe. Let's start the show. Have you ever thought about how, like, a normal day can suddenly turn dark?
Oh, yeah.
Like, one minute you're planning a family outing and the next you're caught in, like, a mystery
Yeah.
that lasts for decades.
It's the kind of story that really sticks with you, you know?
Yeah.
The Martin family disappearance.
Oh, yeah, in 1958.
That's one of those cases.
Yeah, so we're talking about a family from Portland, Oregon,
Right.
Kenneth and Barbara Martin, and their 3 daughters,
Okay.
Barbie, Virginia, and Susan.
Okay.
Just getting ready for Christmas.
A regular family.
And our deep dive today is based on this article from City Towner
Oh, yeah.
that really lays out all the details
All right.
and the questions about this case.
It's a good one. It really is like
Yeah.
a deep dive.
Yeah.
It goes into everything.
So the Martins decide to take a day trip to the Columbia River Gorge
Okay.
on December 7th, a Sunday.
Beautiful.
They wanted to get some greenery for Christmas decorations.
Oh, yeah. That's fun.
Pretty normal,
Absolutely. The Columbia River Gorge is beautiful.
especially that time of year.
Yeah, especially that time of year. But it's also vast and rugged,
Yeah,
which kind of plays into the whole mystery.
it does. So their plan was to be back home that evening.
Okay.
They were last seen at a gas station in Cascade Locks,
Right.
filling up their Ford station wagon.
Makes sense.
But then
Yeah.
nothing.
It just disappeared.
It vanished.
Wow. Can you imagine how worried their friends and neighbors must have been
I know.
when they didn't come back that night?
Right.
It wasn't like them
Yeah.
to just like not come home.
And that's when things really got started.
Yeah.
By the next morning, there was a massive search underway.
Oh, wow. It was like all hands on deck.
Yeah.
We're talking authorities, volunteers, even divers,
Wow.
all looking for the family.
All over the Columbia River Gorge.
Yeah.
It's a tough area.
It is.
Like you were saying before, dense forests,
Right.
winding roads,
Uh-huh.
and that river is dangerous.
The Columbia River itself.
Strong currents, hidden depths.
Yeah.
It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's a tough search.
Yeah.
Even with all those people helping.
Right.
It was hard.
Right.
And for weeks, there was nothing.
Weeks.
Yeah. Until
Wow.
weeks later, they found something near the Dulles.
What they find?
Tire tracks.
Tire tracks.
Yeah. And not just any tire tracks.
Oh.
These were heading off the road towards the river.
Oh.
Makes you wonder what happened.
It does. It really
Yeah.
does. Did they accidentally drive off the road?
Right.
Were they forced off?
Uh-huh.
It was a huge turning point in the case.
Yeah, but it also brings up more questions.
So many new questions.
Like if the car went into the river,
Yeah.
where was it?
Where was the car?
And where was the family?
Yeah.
That river's no joke.
No.
Divers were facing really dangerous conditions.
Like what?
The currents, you can't see anything.
Really?
It's almost impossible to find a car in that water.
Especially if it's been carried away.
Right.
So it's just a mystery.
It is. You've got these tire tracks leading to the water.
Yeah.
No car, no bodies.
What were people even thinking?
I know. It's easy to let your mind wander.
Yeah.
Was it an accident? Foul play?
Right.
Did they disappear on purpose?
Yeah.
These are the questions that everyone was asking.
And then months later,
Yeah.
in May 1959,
Okay.
they made a discovery.
What'd they find?
The bodies of 2 of the daughters,
Oh, no.
Susan and Virginia.
Downstream in the Columbia River.
It's heartbreaking. It kind of confirms some fears, but also raises more questions.
Yeah.
Like, why only 2 bodies?
Right.
Where were Kenneth and Barbara and Barbie?
It's a good question.
This must have really changed the direction of the investigation.
Oh, for sure. It made it seem more likely that the car went into the river,
Okay.
which would explain why they couldn't find it.
Yeah.
It could have been carried miles downstream,
Yeah.
maybe even broken apart,
Okay.
but still no sign of the rest of the family.
So this article from City Towner mentioned something strange
Okay.
that happened the day after the Martins disappeared.
What's that?
A .38 caliber revolver was reported stolen from a store in Hood River.
Interesting. And this is important because
Nice.
2 years before all this happened,
Okay.
their eldest son, Donald,
Who was in the Navy?
yeah, he was away in the Navy.
Okay.
He was accused of stealing a similar gun.
From his old job.
Yeah.
Hold on. So we've got this missing family,
Yeah.
a stolen gun,
Uh-huh.
and the son has a history with guns.
Right. It definitely raises some questions.
It does. It feels like a plot from a book.
Right.
So was Donald involved? Did this theft have anything to do with what happened to his family?
At the time, he was stationed in New York
Okay,
and had a solid alibi.
so he was nowhere near.
And he cooperated fully with the investigation.
So even though it's tempting,
Yeah.
there's no proof that Donald was involved.
Right.
But this case is full of twists.
It is.
The article also says that 2 ex-convicts with criminal records were arrested near the area.
Around the time of the disappearance.
Yeah, acting suspiciously.
Another piece of the puzzle.
It is could these men have been involved?
Yeah.
Was it just a random encounter?
Possibly.
That went wrong.
Yeah.
And get this.
Okay.
Witnesses say that they saw the Martins
Mm-hmm.
and these 2 ex-convicts
Okay.
at the same diner in Hood River
No way.
on the same day they disappeared.
Wow.
And some people even remember the men watching the family.
That's creepy.
It really is. It gives you chills.
Unsettling.
Yeah. Did they follow the Martins from the diner?
Yeah.
Did something happen
Right.
in the gorge?
It's possible.
So many possibilities.
So many questions.
Overwhelming.
Yeah. With all these clues,
Yeah.
investigators had to consider a lot of different theories.
Okay. Let's hear them. What are the leading possibilities? Okay, so we've got like all these clues, the car, the river, the stolen gun, these ex-convicts.
It's a lot to take in.
What were the main theories that investigators looked into?
Well, the accident theory was a big one.
Yeah.
Given the rough terrain and those tire traps.
Like towards the river.
Right. It's possible they just lost control
Uh-huh.
and went right into the Columbia River.
It makes sense. I mean, the gorge can be pretty dangerous.
And the currents are so strong.
Right.
It could have swept the car and the bodies away.
So far.
Yeah, making it really hard to find them.
But if it was an accident, wouldn't all the bodies turn up eventually?
That's a good point.
Like, shouldn't they have all surfaced?
You'd think so.
It's almost like someone hid the bodies.
Or got rid of them separately.
Yeah. Which brings us to another theory.
Right.
What if they disappeared on purpose?
Like a deliberate disappearance.
Yeah. Could one of the parents, maybe both of them,
Hmm.
have planned the whole thing?
Like to run away from something or start a new life.
That's a pretty big leap.
Huh.
Were there any problems in their lives?
Like money troubles or marital issues.
Anything that would make them want to just disappear?
The article doesn't say much about their personal life.
Okay.
It does say they were well liked in their community.
So no obvious reason
Not really.
to just vanish.
No.
And then there's the theory that always freaks me out.
Oh, yeah.
Foul play.
Could they have been victims of those ex-convicts?
Or someone else, maybe?
It's definitely possible, especially with those witnesses.
At the diner?
Yeah, saying the men were watching them.
It's scary.
It is. What if they targeted the Martins for a robbery?
Right.
Or something even worse.
And we can't forget about Donald the son,
Right.
who stole that gun before.
But then though he had an alibi.
Some people think there might be more to the story.
What do you mean?
Like maybe a family issue we don't know about.
Okay.
Or money problems.
Like an inheritance
Right.
that he would get if his parents were gone?
But there's no evidence.
No.
That connects him to the disappearance.
Right.
So we can't assume anything.
It's important to stick to the facts.
And then there are the really out there theories.
Like what?
Like a cover-up.
Okay.
What if something happened that someone wanted to keep secret?
And the Martins got caught in the middle.
Exactly. It's like every explanation leads to more questions.
That's true.
What happened to them?
Yeah.
Where are the missing family members?
Where's the car?
It's been so long,
I know.
and we still don't have answers.
It's a mystery with so many missing pieces.
It really is.
Hmm.
And it makes you think about how, even with all the technology we have today,
Yeah.
some cases just stay unsolved.
It must be so hard for their family
Not knowing what happened.
to have no closure.
It's a reminder that life is unpredictable
Yeah.
and that sometimes these terrible things happen.
And we're left with more questions than answers.
What do you think happened out there, listeners?
We may never know for sure.
But this case reminds us that even in ordinary situations,
The unexpected can happen.
and that some mysteries might never be solved. If you have any information about this case,
Yeah.
no matter how small, please contact the authorities.
You might have the missing piece.
It could help bring closure to this case.
True crime, no bull.